Welcome, listeners, to this deep dive. Yeah, this deep dive into Stieg Larsson's Millennium Trilogy. You know, it's a series that goes way beyond your typical crime fiction, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It's more than just, whodunit. Larson really digs into some heavy stuff here.
Yeah, we're talking social commentary, a glimpse into Swedish culture, and of course the unforgettable character of Lisbeth Salander. Like, how can you forget a character like that?
You can't. She's one of a kind, that's for sure. And, we often have this image of Sweden as this kind of like perfect society. But Larson, he pulls back the curtain a little, shows us the grit beneath the surface, the stuff people don't talk about.
Exactly, and he does it through these really intricate mysteries. Like, think about the disappearance of Harriet Vanja, decades-old family secrets, a family ripped apart. And then you've got these journalists being murdered. Each death is like a piece of a puzzle, pointing to some massive conspiracy.
It's like he's peeling back layers of an onion, each layer more rotten than the last.
Right. And as if that wasn't enough, he throws human trafficking into the mix.
Yeah, it gets pretty heavy.
Heavy stuff.
But he handles it all with such skill, He weaves these threads together and keeps you guessing until the very end.
Oh, yeah. The suspense is just relentless. And at the heart of it all, we've got these two incredible characters. First, there's Michael Blomkvist, the journalist.
The crusading journalist.
Exactly. He's like the classic Larson archetype, right?
Totally. Driven by the truth, no matter the cost.
Even if it means putting himself in danger.
Which she does over and over again. It makes you think, how far would you go to expose the truth?
Right. How much are you willing to risk? It's a question that really stays with you. And then, of course, there's Lisbeth Salander. She's something else entirely, isn't she?
She's a force of nature.
Yeah, brilliant hacker, but so troubled, carrying all this baggage.
And yet, she's a survivor. She's
Yeah.
become this icon, especially for women.
Definitely a symbol of empowerment.
What I find fascinating about Lisbeth is that she really challenges our ideas of what a hero looks like.
In what way?
Well, she's not your typical hero, right? I mean, she's covered in tattoos, piercings. She's a tech whiz. She's like this punk rock vigilante,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
She takes down the abusers, the corrupt, the ones who think they can get away with anything.
And she does it on her own terms.
Absolutely.
Sure.
She doesn't wait for the system to fail her. She takes matters into her own hands.
And let's be real, the system does often fail, especially when it comes to...
Yeah, and that's putting it mildly.
Right. But anyway, she uses technology like a weapon, a way to fight back.
Oh, absolutely. She's a master of it.
Which is interesting because she's physically quite small. But with her skills, she becomes this formidable force.
It's like she's found a way to level the playing field.
Exactly. And speaking of appearances, I think it's really interesting how Larson plays with that whole idea of deception.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right, like he creates these characters who seem so normal on the surface.
They blend right in.
Exactly. But as you get deeper into the story, you realize everyone's hiding something.
Oh, for sure.
Some secrets are darker than others, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Some skeletons you just don't want to find in the closet.
Right. And it creates this constant tension, this feeling that you can't trust anyone.
Oh, you're constantly second-guessing everyone's motives.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so gripping.
Yeah, you're always on edge, never knowing who to believe.
And it's not just the characters, right?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about Swedish society itself.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
This whole idea of appearances versus reality. It's like Larson is holding up a mirror to Sweden.
Yeah, like he's saying, don't be fooled by what you see on the surface.
Exactly.
Because underneath that, image of perfection, there's this whole undercurrent of something much darker.
Yeah, and this is where Larson really starts to dig into those social issues,
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't hold back. And I think one of the most powerful themes he tackles is misogyny.
Definitely. It's everywhere in these books, like woven into the very fabric of the story.
It's pervasive.
From those everyday microaggressions to brutal violence against women. I mean, let's be honest, the original Swedish title kind of says it all, right?
You're right. Men who hate women. It's a pretty bold statement.
It gets straight to the point, doesn't it?
No subtlety there.
Not at all. And I think it really sets the tone for the whole trilogy.
It's a theme that just keeps coming back, again and again.
And it makes you realize that even in a society like Sweden, with its reputation for gender equality, these deeply rooted prejudices still exist.
Yeah, it's a sobering thought for sure. And it's against this backdrop that we see Lisbeth's character really come to life.
Oh, absolutely. She becomes even more compelling, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, because she's not just battling her own demons, right?
Right.
She's fighting against this whole system that devalues and endangers women.
She's like this this symbol of resistance, you know?
Yeah, like she's reclaiming her power in a world that's constantly trying to take it away.
Exactly. And her methods, well, they're not always pretty.
Yeah, she's definitely not afraid to get her hands dirty.
But she makes you think about, you know, what lengths are we willing to go to when the usual ways of seeking justice fail us?
It's a good question. And speaking of justice, revenge is another huge driving force in these books.
Oh, for sure. It's like almost every character is motivated by some form of vengeance.
It's true. They've all been wronged in some way, and they're all looking for payback.
And Larson uses that desire for revenge to explore this really complex line between justice and just pure retribution.
Right, like when does seeking justice become about something darker?
Exactly. And he makes us question whether true healing can ever really come from revenge, or if it just keeps that cycle of violence going.
That's something I thought a lot about, even after I finished the last book. There are no easy answers there. And then you've got this fascinating dynamic between technology and power.
Oh yeah, especially in the hands of someone like Lisbeth.
Right. She's such a master of digital manipulation. She can find out anything, expose anyone.
And she uses it to protect herself, to fight back against those who would exploit her.
It's almost like technology becomes this great equalizer for her, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
It gives her power and control in a world where she's often made to feel powerless.
It's a really interesting dynamic, especially in today's world where technology plays such a huge role in everything. But let's shift gears for a second and address something we haven't talked about yet. And that's the elephant in the room, you know.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The title change, the decision to change the title for the English translation.
Ah, yes. From Men Who Hate Women to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
Yeah, that definitely ruffled some feathers.
to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, some people were really upset about it.
Oh, yeah, they saw it as a betrayal of Larson's message.
Right, like it completely changes the focus of the story.
It does, doesn't it?
I mean, Men Who Hate Women, it's like a punch to the gut, right? It forces you to confront this really ugly truth about society.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a statement.
Yeah, but the girl with the dragon tattoo, it feels almost, I don't know, sensationalized.
It does. It becomes more about Lisbeth as this exotic figure,
Yeah.
you know, instead of this broader critique of misogyny.
Exactly. It's like they're trying to market it to a different audience or something.
Maybe that's part of it. But in doing so, I think they might have missed the point, you know?
Yeah, there's something kind of, I don't know, ironic about it. This book that's so critical of how women are treated in media. And then they give it this title that kind of plays into those very tropes.
Exactly. It's quite a conundrum.
It really makes you think about translation in general, doesn't it?
It does. Like how much is lost in the process, how much of the original intent gets filtered through the translator's own biases and cultural lens.
And in this case, it feels like a pretty significant shift. But anyway, even with the title change, the Millennium Trilogy continues to resonate with readers worldwide. I mean, these books have sold millions of copies.
They have. They've sparked countless conversations, debates.
And I think that's a testament to the power of Larson's storytelling, you know? He tapped into something really profound about human nature. Our fears, our desires, the darkness that lurks beneath the surface.
If things we don't like to talk about.
Exactly. He forces us to confront those uncomfortable truths.
And I think that's why people are still drawn to these books, even after all these years.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for a series that will keep you up at night, a series that will stay with you long after you finish the last page, I highly recommend checking out Stieg Larsson's Millennium Trilogy.
Just be prepared to have your assumptions challenged.
And to see the world in a whole new light.
And maybe even question your own place in it.
Until next time, keep diving deep.